right, so some of these are from last night that we didn't get a chance to finish, and then the rest are the ones that you guys sent in today. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the very first one we have says that the perimeter of a square is 10 feet, 8 inches. What is the length of one side of the square? So here, whenever you have geometry, you guys have heard me say it before, and I will continue saying it. Whenever you have geometry, one of the best things you can do is just literally draw yourself the problem. So we have a square, so I'm just going to draw a very basic square, ta-ta square. Now they tell me that the perimeter is equal to 10 feet and 8 inches. And they're asking me what is the length of each side. The number one thing we should all know about squares is that all 4 sides measure the same. So that means that if we call this x, this is also x, this is also x, and this is also x. Now, the only additional piece of information that they gave us is the perimeter. The perimeter of any shape, regardless of whether it's a square, a rectangle, a triangle, whatever, is when you add up all the sides. So for example, the perimeter of this square would essentially just be x plus x plus x plus x, or in other words, the perimeter would equal to 4 times x, because it's 4 identical sides. Now, we have the measurement of perimeter given in feet and inches, and all the answer choices are in feet and inches. So what I would suggest for you to do is to convert everything to only one unit. Whether you decide to go with feet or inches, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and decide to convert only to one unit, divide that by 4, and then change it back to both feet and inches. I always think it's easier to go to the smaller unit. So I'm going to go from the 10 feet and 8 inches. I'm going to convert everything to inches. So I have 10 feet and 8 inches. If I need to convert this to inches, since I'm going from a big unit to a small unit, I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to multiply by 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. So I'm going to have this times 12. That's going to be 120 inches plus the 8 inches. So that's 128 inches. Okay? So that means that the perimeter, this is equal to 128. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 4. That goes away. X is going to equal to 128 divided by 4. Let's see, that's going to be 3. Carry, that'll be 12. And bring down the 8, and that's going to be 2. So this is going to equal to 32. And again, remember, this is 32 inches because we converted everything to inches. So now we know that the side measurements of each one is going to be 32 inches. But all the answer choices are in feet and inches. So we just need to convert this back into feet and inches. Remember that each foot has 12 inches. So you could just technically divide this by 12 and then you're going to find out inches, but you're going to end up with a decimal. What's a little bit easier to do is say, okay, 32, that's the same thing as 24 plus 8, right? But what's 24 inches? 24 inches is the same thing as 2 feet because 24 divided by 12 is 2. So this is going to be 2 feet and 8 inches would be your final answer. Again, another way to do that is to just divide the 32 by 12, but then you're going to end up with a decimal. You're going to have to turn that decimal back into inches. It's kind of complicated. I think this is a little bit faster and easier. So your final answer would be 2 feet and 8 inches. Any questions on this one? Anything that confuses you?
Negative.
No.
Cool. Alrighty, next one. So Tommy's ordering concrete for a construction project. The price of concrete is 2 cents per pound. Concrete is also taxed at 3 cents per pound. If Tommy needs 1 ton of concrete, how much will he pay? So this is an algebra word problem. They're telling us that it's going to be 2 cents for each pound plus an additional 3 cents for each pound. So how much is he going to really pay in total? The cost for 1 pound, taxes included, going to be the 0.02 plus 0.03. So it's going to cost him 5 cents for every 1 pound. Now, how much does he need? He needs 1 ton. So how many pounds are in 1 ton? Does anyone know? No, that's ounces.
2,000.
2,000. So 16 is ounces. 16 ounces is 1 pound. So 2,000 pounds is equal to 1 ton. We know the cost of 1 pound, so we just need to multiply that by 2,000, and we're going to find out how much is going to be for a ton. So we're going to have 2,000 pounds multiplied by the price of 1 pound, which is 0.05. So let's see what we have here. We're going to have 0, 0, 0, 10, and then a bunch of zeros. So let's see, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to have a total of 2 numbers behind a decimal point. So finally, the cost for 1 ton or 2,000 pounds is going to be $100. Another way that you could set up this problem is you could set it up as a proportion. So you could set it up as 0.05 cents or dollars for 1 pound. And then on the other side, you would have the 2,000 pounds and find the cost. But when you cross multiply and divide, you end up with the same answer. So there you go. Alrighty.